Today's lesson is going to focus on the difference between the two diminished scales, half whole and whole half. Not only are they different in terms of their construction, the half whole scale being a half step followed by a whole step and repeated all the way up the octave, as opposed to the whole half scale, which is a whole step followed by a half step repeated. But the chords that they are related to are different. So the half whole scale can be used for both a diminished seventh chord and a dominant seventh chord. Here's a diminished 7, half whole. Those notes are in there. C dominant 7, half whole. Those notes are in there. In addition to the 4 notes of the dominant 7 chord, you also get these 4 tension tones, which are the flat 9, the sharp 9, the sharp 11, and the 13th of the C7 chord. It's a handy little scale because it's got 8 notes, and a measure of 4/4 has 8 eighth notes, so you can literally travel from the root of the C7 chord to the 5th of the F major chord very easily. You can also try going from some of the other chord tones. Watch this. From the 3rd of the C7 to the 7th of the F major. I can start on the 13th of the C7 as well, and I'll land on the 3rd of the F major. Okay? Now, whole half, different construction, whole step followed by a half step. This only works over the diminished chord, because in order for a scale to work over a dominant 7 chord, ideally it should have a major 3rd above the root and a minor 7th above the root. Here's C7. Notice it has an E natural and a B flat. The C whole half scale does not have an E natural, does not have a B flat. As a matter of fact, it has an E flat and a B natural. So, this scale is not applicable over the C dominant 7 chord. This scale is applicable over the C diminished 7th chord. And once again, both diminished scales can work over the diminished chord, but only the half whole works over the dominant chord. So now, if I've got a 3 chord going to a flat 3 diminished, to a 2, to a 5, this is a very common progression in jazz. For this flat 3 diminished, I'm going to want to use whole half. Now, I can use half whole, right? But quite often, when the 3 moves to the flat 3 diminished, this note stays. Or sometimes this note is in there as well. And neither of these notes exist in the half whole. The D does not exist in the half whole. So the whole half does have the D in it. So, minor 3, so this little passing diminished chord gets the whole half. I like this little sound over it. It's 2 minor thirds separated by a perfect 4th. And you move that up in minor thirds and it goes up the whole scale. So check this out. Half whole. Now, if you're, let's say you're playing Body and Soul. 3, whole half over the diminished 1 chord. Quite often when a melody lands on the 9th or the 7th, people will harmonize that with a diminished major 7, and that gets the whole half scale. Okay, there you go. Fun with whole half. Try and take this minor third separated by a perfect 4th sound and work it in minor thirds over your half whole and your whole half scale. And that way you'll always have something to play, be it comping or soloing. Okay, enjoy.